Get into a real nigga now. All right, Katt Williams.
Katt Williams was on Shannon Sharp's podcast, and he was. How long was the podcast episode?
It was like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, it was a good amount of content, but he was spitting nonstop.
He came in hot.
It was really good. Yeah, I didn't listen to all of it. You listened to all of it.
Yeah, I listened to the entire podcast. He came in blazing.
He came at a lot of people, threw a lot of shots, aired a lot of grievances, and we support him in all of it, honestly.
Oh no, I was definitely it was hilarious because I was already going to bring him up on the docket because there was some of his jokes that leaked out onto the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then this interview dropped, and it's been 6 hours and already did 500,000. That's
because
nuts.
Every time Katt Williams comes out and speaks, like, it's not nonsense.
Oh, not even the least bit.
I feel like a lot of people.
Oh, excuse me. I stand corrected. That was a clip that did 500,000 in 6 hours. The original video has done 1.5 million views in 9 hours.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Give him some claps.
No, we definitely got to give some applause
to Katt Williams some applause.
And we got to give it to Club Shay Shay, even though that's your op.
Okay, Shannon Sharp is not my op. I just think in that one video he was just in the interview with Kirk Franklin too. Like, you're too old to be spitting that type of rhetoric, and we have a lot of these niggas that are doing that. And being as seasoned as you are and being in the position that you are, I feel like you should be spitting a different game.
So,
and we need it. People are doing that already, Shannon. Like, do something else. Like, the fuck, you unk for real. Stop doing like young nigga shit. Yeah, do unk shit for real. What are you doing?
So no, I want to just start with this. Like, apparently everybody who he's had a problem with has been on Shannon Sharp's show. So Ricky Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer, what's his name? Steve Harvey. All of them have been on Club Shay Shay. So he started off top going with the smoke. Like, he just went and did the rounds. Before we even start talking about me and what I got going on, I got to shoot at some niggas first. Ricky Smiley, and I know Ricky Smiley is I know he is a prominent figure in the city here. Hey man, my nigga, he went at your top.
He did.
He went crazy at you. That was nuts.
He said, "You not funny unless you wearing dresses."
Then he also was saying, he said, after they did the Friday movie, in his next movie that he did, I think it was like the Sunday movie or the church movie, that if he did a movie with Ricky Smiley had that be in the dress in the movie, and he was.
That's hilarious.
I was sitting there so flabbergasted.
He said, "You a great value, Tyler Perry."
That is he definitely said that. He definitely went at your head and said that. Ricky Smiley.
That is hilarious.
He was coming for bars because I think wasn't Ricky Smiley was also the one who him and Wanda were also co-hosts together, right? Because I believe that was the morning show. I used to listen to a little bit of the morning show where they had.
I lived in New York.
They had Wanda. Well, she used to be in the morning show. I believe he was also part of it. So that kind of makes sense to that little beef because they addressed that too. You remember when he was going at?
Oh yeah, yo, that was a very famous clip. He was like 16, blah blah blah. No prison time.
Yeah, no. Then he said she had gnarling fingers. And like he went into the psychology of it because he said, man, I'm not gonna go in there and talk about short hair women or fat black women. Like all that stuff that's easy, low hanging fruit. He said, I said that she had gnarling fingers. One, because I knew she didn't know what the word meant. So she was just gonna be sitting there confused and upset. I said, this nigga is hell. But I said that is a true psychopath. Like that's a true like someone who is really understands his art, whereas like I'm not gonna go at the low hanging fruit because I can make fun of that. Everybody's gonna make fun of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just fuck with your head, and now you rattled the whole time, so I can just start spitting off anything, and you ain't gonna respond because you still trying to figure out what is gnarly.
Yeah, you still stuck on that.
You still gone.
I can't even take out my phone and do a Google because now you're gonna come at me for doing that too.
Yeah, now he's already got you checkmate. So like I said, I wanted to bring it up because I'll play one of his jokes. I'll play one of the shorter ones. Because I wanted to ask, has his jokes become more PC? Because he was on Joe Budden's podcast a while ago, and he talked about cancel culture. And he had said something to the effect that you have to just adjust with the times.
While you were saying that, I was thinking about my favorite Katt Williams jokes, and none of them are about people. All of them are about things in life.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he is more PC or trying to like not be canceled or trying to water down his comedy at all. I think his comedy has always been like situational comedy that doesn't really offend people. No, it can't offend you specifically.
Go to those early specials. He was going at people. He would go at races. He would make jokes about particular people.
And then he would make fun of specific people too. But like, I don't know. I just think all of my favorite jokes, like him in the grocery store, like he does like Katt Williams does a lot of physical comedy too. Like
sure.
That's a very important part of his bit. So I think like Katt's comedy in general doesn't come off as offensive as most comedians do. So his stance on you just have to adjust with the times, he probably can adjust more easily than other comedians can, because he wasn't really like coming at people and offending people. Like that wasn't his shtick.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily offending people. Kind of like we'll talk about.
I pronounced shtick OD, right?
That was wild.
That was crazy.
But no, it's not like how Dave Chappelle was going with the transgenders, and we'll talk about his special that just dropped in a little bit as well. But it's not like he was going at a particular group of people. But he would say jokes that would be rash, and that now people would be like, "Oh, that's a little bit." What you mean by that? You know, there was some content that was like that.
Yeah.
Again, now he's shifted. He talked about that too. He said, hey, you know, I used to perform in front of white people, and I was getting a little more ovations more than I was when I was doing it with black people. And
that's problematic.
He was saying he worked on his craft so that it matched the same. So I can see that somebody who would adjust would be Katt Williams. He would be able to play to his crowd, play to what's going on, and be able to stay, you know.
I think he has the mental agility to do so. I think Katt Williams is not dumb.
For sure.
His career has been hindered by his drug use.
No, that's another thing. He spoke to that. He hasn't used any drugs. Like that narrative about him being a heavy drug user and all that stuff, he's spoken on that numerous times. That's not true. That
wasn't something that he struggled with in his career at all.
Never. He said that he talked about this in an interview. He said that he went to, you know, the Skid Row and stuff like that and spoke to a bunch of homeless people, and he said that drug was always a common denominator and what basically took them over to not wanting to keep.
I didn't know that. I really thought that was like something that he was going through, because
that's the narrative.
He looked like that for a little
bit. But no,
too.
that he talked about too, is that being the narrative people were pushing out on him.
Why was he going to jail so much?
That was just different altercations, having weapons and stuff like that. When you're not supposed to have guns, that when he's protecting himself.
Just being a black man,
stuff
also,
like that.
Probably.
And it could be like he did say he smoked weed, but he just was like that's the only thing he does. He doesn't put anything in the weed. No bunk. Yeah,
I heard him say that. I wish I was able to listen to the whole interview.
No, it's a good interview. So if you get a chance to catch it, I would definitely would. He went off onto Cedric the Entertainer. He basically called him not entertaining. He said you don't write. Mm-hmm. You're not that guy. And he also accused him of stealing a joke, which Twitter then found. But let me go back first.
So I watched both of the jokes.
Same joke.
It was the same joke. He just changed the automobile.
So let me go back to what I was saying first.
The vehicle of transportation.
Because the point I wanted to make about what he said on Joe Budden was like, it kind of affected the way I listened to his last special. And it felt, that's why I made that comment, like, did it become PC? Because some of his jokes, I guess maybe in my mind, because I'm remembering that comment, it didn't hit the same. But here's a joke he made about Jamie Foxx.
It's hard to tell a lie these days. We done heard so much shit. You gotta have a lot of money to say some shit we ain't never heard. You know who got a lot of money? Jamie Foxx. That nigga got so much money, he did something we never heard of. We ain't say shit. Jamie Foxx said he got a mystery illness. What? A mystery illness. All he did was do movies and TV right after I want to do it. Not only did he get a mystery illness, they cured it. How the fuck? How the fuck did you cure a mystery? That means you just kept giving him pills. Just kept giving him pills. Anything?
So like I said, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. He also had another one y'all can check out too, is online, where he talked about the potatoes that McDonald's get, because McDonald's do get their own particular potatoes that nobody else can buy. You can't buy them in the store. You can't get nowhere. Only McDonald's has access to these potatoes, and he made like an Illuminati joke about it, it was pretty good. So I was gonna come in and say about the PC joke, but once I seen this interview, like it changed a lot of my perspective
He's
about him
definitely not PC.
at all. He kept it a bean. He was going at Steve Harvey head. He talked about how he was the one who exposed that Steve Harvey had a hair little adjustment, little man toupee going on upstairs. And that's why we always thought he had the greatest hairline ever, but it was all a facade.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know it was always bald?
Steve Harvey?
It was always a bald man.
That was a hairpiece?
Hairpiece the entire time on the Steve Harvey show. Also, he brought up some new information too.
What? Hold on. So, if back then Steve Harvey had access to hair that looked that real, why the fuck does every actor on in every single Tyler Perry production have a hairline as rigid as the mountains? Literally, the parts are non-existent. You can't find the parts in any of the wigs in any of the Tyler Perry productions. And 20, 30 years ago, Steve Harvey had a hairpiece that fooled us for decades. I'm bewildered and shocked. I didn't know this.
Yeah, man, he was fooling us all.
That's wild.
Also, he brought up to light something else. So, you know who Mark Curry is? He had a Hanging with Mr. Cooper show that used to come on before the Steve Harvey show. And he said that basically they stole his idea of him being, in the school. He wasn't a principal for Steve Harvey, but Curry was. And he basically said he stole his idea and never showed him no love after that. Like, he took the whole show idea and just ran with it.
That's crazy.
And I never put that together because I used to watch Hanging with Mr. Cooper. That was a good show.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Raven was on that show. Raven Simone used to be on that show. It was a good show. They had a lot. They had some fine women on that show too.
There were so many black women on TV back then.
Yeah,
These
were stone
not
cold.
even light skinned curly hair black women.
These were stone cold. One of them
beautiful
looked like you.
black women.
One of them looked like you.
I always say that if I was in my 20s in the 90s,
don't play with her.
I'd have knocked them down.
Don't play with her.
Like pre-BBL. Pre-BBL times, I'd have been at least 2 points higher.
It was Holly Elizabeth Robinson Pete.
Oh, okay.
A baddie.
She is. She's super cute.
Gorgeous. All right, so let's get into more. He went at Faison Love. He said he wasn't funny.
He's not.
He called Kevin Love a plant.
I don't know who that is.
Kevin Love, excuse me, I meant Kevin Hart.
Oh,
he said Kevin
okay.
Hart. He said Kevin Hart was a plant.
Kevin Hart hasn't been funny in at least 4 stand-up specials.
He talked about with Kevin Hart. He said how you get Soul Plane when you ain't had no name for yourself before then. That's plant behavior.
Wasn't he in was Paper Soldiers after Soul Plane?
I think it was before.
So that's probably why.
But Paper Soldiers didn't do big. Like, you know.
No, it didn't. But it was a black movie, and so was Soul Plane.
When Katt is talking about this, he's talking about it on the big scale of what your impact was.
And then Soul Plane wasn't like a huge cinematic production. Like,
it was a clown show. It was a minstrel.
It's a black movie. Like, it's a very
minstrel movie,
popular movie within the black community, but it didn't do much outside of that. So you can't.
It was the sexy rate of black films. Of
yes, like you can't. Soul Plane is not a measuring stick. I'm sorry, I don't agree with you on that one.
You don't. Well, he was just saying getting that kind of movie and look at that kind of stage when he wasn't in that
Kevin
position.
was
he said,
doing like supporting.
He said
smaller roles before
he said
that.
every movie Kevin Hart was getting around that time, he also was offered, but because he wanted to change stuff that either was like slightly homosexual or wasn't something he was comfortable with, they would just go to Kevin or go to somebody else because they wasn't okay with that.
That's crazy.
That was exactly what they said.
But what was slightly homosexual in Soul Plane?
It was just probably just anything. Somebody could have jumped, fell on his backside and all that. He talked about how in the Next Friday movie that was it Next Friday or Friday After Next? Yeah, it was Friday After Next that he was in. He talked about how he wrote. They wanted him to get there. Graped. He wanted him to get graped in that scene with Terry Crews, and he was like, "Can we please do a video where a black man doesn't get graped, and it try to be funny? Because grape is never funny."
Yeah.
So no, it was like I say he talked a lot of times where he stood on business, and that cost him in regards to being in Hollywood, but that the one thing he valued was his virgin anus.
Yeah, he said that the movie would be twice as funny without a sexual assault scene.
Yeah, I think they started to say he wanted to do
and it was him putting the wrench and having his nuts in a vice grip. Literally,
oh, for sure, that was hilarious.
Was way more.
And
funny.
then they literally that was literally the whole third act of the movie.
Yeah, like it would have been extremely jarring and unnecessary.
Watch out, Damon! There's gonna be ball juice everywhere, Damon. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And he also said Harvey Weinstein offered to blow him. Yeah, he said that. He said Harvey Weinstein offered to blow him.
I believe him because Katt wouldn't just say shit like that. Like, he's never been somebody who makes shit up.
He also said Steve was stealing Bernie Mac parts from movies too.
Steve Harvey. Oh, that makes you look even worse because rest in peace, Bernie Mac. That man is dead.
Yeah, he was talking about how like they was trying to do Bernie Mac wrong a lot of the times. They wasn't really giving him the credit he deserved and was
because Bernie was funnier than all of them niggas.
Oh, for sure.
Bernie Mac was funnier than Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer, 100%.
He even spoke to the Kings of Comedy how like it didn't matter where you put Bernie, the first, second, last, he was always gonna be the funniest out of all of them.
Yeah, Bernie Mac was hilarious.
You know, people said I was tripping because I said D.L. Hughley was the second funniest of the Kings of Comedy. I said D.L. Hughley was the second funniest out of that group, and I always got killed. I feel like at least performance wise,
got killed. Yeah, probably performance wise, he's very energetic.
But he's still performing. Like he's still performing right now.
I didn't know he was still performing.
Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey are not performing at that same level. They still not hitting the stage. These guys, and that was the crux of his argument, was the fact that a lot of you comedians and you people out here complaining, y'all just ain't working hard enough. Y'all ain't going at it. He said, I do 100 shows a year. I'm constantly traveling. I'm constantly putting out product and work, and y'all just not working hard enough. Y'all don't care about y'all craft, and y'all bullshit. He said, I'm putting out, he's on his 12th special. I think he said he got another one coming out for Netflix this year. And if y'all complaining about anything, about being blackballed and all this other stuff, it don't matter because y'all not working hard enough at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So before we
his 12th special?
Yeah, he said he was doing his 12th special.
That's amazing.
So a lot of them he funded himself, like a lot of the Pimp Chronicles and stuff like that.
Him and Dave Chappelle and Katt Williams, they don't quit. They don't stop. Dave came back with a vengeance.
Oh, for sure.
I can't wait to see Katt's next special. I love all of his comedy.
Katt also said he turned down $50 million 4 times. You don't believe that? You think that was Katt?
Yeah. 50 million. You could have just ended it at the 50 million. I would have believed that, but 4 times, like, was it the same 50 million, like, for the same project, for the same thing? that they offered you multiple times, because I do believe that.
You don't think 4 times he?
But 50 million for 4 different entities, 4 different companies, 4 different projects. Maybe not. Maybe the same thing from the same people reworked a little bit because they were really trying to get him.
Hating on my boy.
I feel like maybe somebody was trying to get him. Like, we want you under our network or whatever. Like, we want to make money off of you. We want to milk you for all you are. And he was like, no.
I'm not having
Absolutely not.
No, I mean, when someone pays you that amount of money, it definitely comes with, obligation. So I can understand why you wouldn't want to take
bending,
that.
maybe.
It's probably a little bit more than just some bending.
Like, from what we've been learning the past couple years, you got to do some bending. Which is unfortunate.
Or you got to work your ass off. And that's what a lot of y'all ain't doing. So